All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to... Don't push that. Don't do that. This is an episode of Drink Talk, and we're calling this one Reconnect. I know it's been a while since we've been online and on the airwaves for you guys to listen to or watch. But we found it a good time to reconnect, which actually kind of took us a long time to reconnect because we were kind of having some technical difficulties here. But hey, we've got my brother Brian here, he was unfortunate. We are on vacation right now, and
that was unfortunate.
It was unfortunate that you were unable to make it on vacation with us. Let me reinstate that.
Yes.
Right.
But hey, you're here.
There we go.
And you're drinking with us, so that's good.
Yeah.
We took a family vacation digitally. We took a family vacation. We're down here in San Antonio.
Just San Antone.
San Antone. We've got Erica's here. My dad's here. Eric's here. Brian's here. I'm here. We're here for your enjoyment. So, yeah, we're going to kind of reconnect and talk about how is everybody doing. Brian, how are you doing? We haven't seen you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, I think we need to start the old tradition of first things first.
Oh, yeah. No, we got to crack some beers here. Hang on a second here. That's a good idea, Brian.
That's right.
Yeah. Sometimes I get right into it. Over here, we're drinking Squirt Gun.
Yeah. And I've got a red beer.
And I have
Interesting. Is that a
Glacial
local
Till
drink there?
Craft Cider, Passion Pineapple Cider.
Ooh, pineapple cider? That sounds delicious. Yes, this is a local beer, Brian. This is by Real Ale Brewing Company out of Texas. I'm not sure where in Texas it's from, but it's an IPA, and it's a 6%er. But yeah, this came in a 4-pack, or not a 4-pack, came in a 12-pack, 4 different kinds in the 12-pack from Texas. So I figured it's fitting to drink Texas beer while doing a show from Texas.
win in Texas?
Win in
sure.
Texas. I don't
I
think
moved
that's
my
a safe.
microphone.
I thought
that helps.
I thought the beers would be bigger down here too.
Well, cheers,
Well,
Brian.
oh yeah, I should. Well, hold on. I should grab mine. You guys talked about yours, so
What?
mine is a friend of mine gave me this.
His is bigger back at home.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got there, Brian?
That's right. Yeah. So back here in Nebraska, this is Cold Smoke by Kettle House Brewing Company out of Montana. He's been on Mike has been on the program before. Got this from me. He was up in Montana recently and brought me back a 6-pack or 4-pack of this.
Nice.
It's a Scotch ale, but it's a light one. It's like 6.5%, which is pretty low for a Scotch ale. So
What's a
it's,
Scotch ale? When I think
and
of Scotch,
a full pint.
when I think of Scotch, I think of liquor. So how?
So it's a butterscotch. No, I'm just
No,
kidding. It's,
aged in Scotch barrels.
Aged in
Yeah,
Scotch
I think that
barrels?
has something
So
to
the
do with it.
beer?
Which I don't think that might not be accurate just because of the alcohol content in it is so low. You have to have a higher alcohol content to age in barrels. So I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, cheers. Let's drink to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, there we go. Now I have my invisible glass.
Your invisible glass with a cool background.
Yeah.
So anyway, Brian, bummer that you were unable to come with us, but glad we were able to connect here on this show. What have you been up to? You've probably been working, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
But did you get some time off
working.
at least?
I had the last day and a half off. I took a half day today and a full day yesterday, so I'll be taking some time off coming up. Our manager had some time, or had a chance to see his brother was in town, so felt bad staying home the whole time. So if he could go, have a chance to go see his brother, so letting him do that, and then I'll take my vacation later.
Sure,
So,
absolutely.
Oh, good. I'm glad you get some time off.
yeah, me too. Much needed time off for sure. Which was the last time we all got together was time off. Was the episode?
Oh yeah, that's right. Time off.
Yeah,
up in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
This is the last time we.
Well, yeah, but Eric wasn't in Minnesota
Oh,
with
you
us.
guys were though.
Yeah,
Correct.
we didn't really have the ability to pipe people in
Not
back
that.
then.
That was early on.
Yeah, that was early on in our.
Yeah.
No, that was 2 years. No, was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
2
was
summers.
Two summers ago.
Yeah.
The technology was in its infancy.
Yeah, well, no, it's just like the studio was in its infancy, and now we have grown.
Right. We didn't have all this fancy stuff.
for sure.
right? Well, the drive down from
Are you monitoring the?
no, not really. I'm already running the entire
Okay,
house
that's-
off my
I didn't
phone.
know if anybody
So,
was doing it.
but no, the drive down was
Gotcha.
good. We ran into some rain, a little bit of rain.
Rain. We ran into like crazy tornado thunderstorms.
Maybe we were sleeping.
Yikes.
when that
We
happened?
were ahead of you guys.
By a
we,
bit.
we ended up having to stop and pull over at a gas station and kind of reevaluate where the storm was because we were right in the middle of it, and the worst of it was underneath us. So it was like either stay there and get the back end of it that was going to be taking forever, or just take our chances and try and drive straight through and make it out the bottom. And when we first started going through it, he was sleeping, and I like tried to wake him up, and I could not see in front of me, and he fell back asleep. I don't know how because it was so loud. And then after we stopped, he drove, and he was hydroplaning. There was accidents everywhere. It was
pretty wicked.
it was green out.
Oh my goodness.
It was bad, but we made it through. And treated ourselves with Waffle House.
Ooh.
Ooh. Hey,
So-
Britt, just FYI, I hopped on so I can pay attention to the feed. And,
Yeah, and it's going real slow.
Under Drink Talk, it's going fine, but under yours, you released it under your name, and it's Britt's Breakfast Burritos is the title of it. It's correct. It's correct on the Drink Talk page, though.
Really? So I didn't launch it on our Facebook
Yeah.
page. My bad.
No, you did, no, you did, and that's correct.
And then you shared it to your page,
Okay.
right?
But it's labeled differently on your page. Yes, correct. That is correct.
Breakfast
Very-
I think I've
Awesome.
seen his
Whatever,
breakfast
we're-
burrito thing pop up like 12 times in the last month.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're just gonna roll with it right now.
I don't know where that's at. I need to,
A
I guess,
reoccurring theme.
read into that and all that stuff. No, on our way down, we made a stop. Where did we stop at, Dad?
Denton.
Oh, in Dallas. Well, we stopped in Norman. We spent the night in Norman
There we go.
and ate at the Crawfish Pot.
Oh yeah,
That was good.
That was super good. They I got the crab legs there. They had some Alaskan king crab legs. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You could've left that
They
detail
brought it
out.
out in a bucket,
Whatever.
and then I just dumped the bucket onto the table, and then throw the stuff in the bucket, and
Why
it
not?
was fantastic.
Mm.
I ordered it with some seasoning on it, and it was a little spicy. It was a little spicy, but nonetheless, it was good. Nonetheless, it was good. Next
Yeah.
time, I probably would not do the spice I did.
Now, I got the crawfish etouffee, and Mom decided to get the same thing, and she asked the waiter. She said, "Is this spicy?" And I see 3 balls of fire next to it, which tells me, yeah, it probably is a little spicy. No, it's not that bad. She had like 2 bites. She was done.
Well, and last night we ate at a place called the Barn Door.
Oh, mad
Yeah.
props to the barn door.
That was
Very
a
good.
treat.
It's always an adventure when you go to a steakhouse outside Nebraska.
Right.
But they didn't really disappoint.
Yeah.
Very
They
down
rose up.
home cooking, large portions, lots of good seasoning. I legit bought a quart of their ranch dressing that was homemade.
They had a ton of red beer for your dad.
Yes, a good wine selection there. I was very impressed with the wine selection.
Yes, good steaks. I had a ribeye. It was delicious. Yeah, props to that place. The Barn Door in Meat Market.
Mm. Didn't they just open? Like they had just
Yeah, they said
recently opened.
they opened back up on the 19th.
Yeah.
But they've been open since 1953.
But no, it was really nice. It's with it in walking distance. Like literally, you just throw a football at the thing. It's just right down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez,
Yes.
Nice.
nice.
It's good.
Very cool. Miss hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
you know
likewise.
totally. We were saying the same thing. What were we doing the other day? And we're just like, I wish. Brian
I
would've
don't
been
know.
here.
Being on
I was talking
vacation.
with Mom, and she saw that Dad and Eric and I were just sitting at a table talking with each other, and my mom was thinking, I wish Brian and the kids were here and all that stuff, and Lauren and all that stuff. So, unfortunately,
Why
You're
does
missed.
why does everybody do that? They always have to say my mom. It's like
My mom.
I wasn't talking about somebody else's mom. I was talking about my mom.
Is that a grenade on
Yes.
your shirt?
Yes.
that's a grenade on your shirt.
On
Is that a
mine?
grenade?
Are you happy to see me?
What is that?
1776.
It is not.
1876 grenade.
It's a growler.
Oh, it's a growler. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
There we go.
You see.
It looked like a heart, like an actual
Yeah.
drawing of a heart. No, not
There it
a
is.
heart, not a shape of a heart, but like legit the heart that is in your chest.
Oh,
you-
the anatomical heart.
Yes, that's the word.
Okay. There we
Okay.
go.
This squirt gun,
Very cool.
It's good.
Very
It's-
good.
It's smooth.
very smooth squirt gun style.
Yeah. So yeah, tell me about the beers down there. What you guys got going on?
Well, yeah,
See.
we've had a few down here. What was the one we really loved?
Oh,
Expatriate?
I want you to talk about the one you're drinking
Expatriate.
currently.
Yeah.
The one I'm drinking currently right now, Squirt Gun, Juicy IPA 6.0 from Real Ale Brewing.
Blanco, Texas.
Blanco.
It doesn't exist. It's Blanco.
Blanco.
Yeah, kind of like your background, Blanco.
No, this is totally my wall.
Totally, you painted that, which you got on your arm every once in a while.
Exactly.
Oh.
We are now selling the wallpaper.
Yeah, be the first on your block to have Drink Talk wallpaper. Woo!
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Instant message us if you'd like to get some.
You can even use some fun markers and
We did-
paints on it to decorate it.
We did have one from Voodoo Ranger earlier, Brian, that you would have liked.
Oh, what was it?
1985.
Oh,
Yeah, 1985.
That was a good one. It's like part of their rotating
Oh,
IPA.
Good, because it's the year I was born.
Bingo.
Yeah, I actually have don't have doubles of anything. I have a lot of singles in here to try out and go. So there's a new place in Omaha that just opened up, wine, beer, and spirits on 144th and Center. And the old, the old.
Was
Toys
this the
R
one you were
Us.
telling about
It's
the other day?
quite fantastic.
You were telling me about this the other
Yeah.
day, weren't
I
you?
was
Yep.
telling you about it the other
Yeah.
day too.
It's the biggest warehouse, wholesale warehouse for liquor in like what, 500 square miles or something.
I need to go check that out.
Dad's gonna
It's
get his
crazy.
Father's Day present there from
Well,
me.
that's. Well, so I brought Dad a bottle of wine that we shared, the rye barrel aged Cabernet.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
yeah, very interesting. Whole lot of stuff going on with that.
Yeah, they don't have gift cards yet. Apparently, they ordered them about a month ago and they still haven't come in. I'm like, ugh.
Where is this located at?
Old
the
Toys
the
R
old
Us
Toys R Us by
next
Oakview.
to Oakview.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's huge.
Yes.
It's huge.
And the prices are awesome.
Huge.
I mean, even if it's a few dollars off here and there, you end up saving a ton. Like if you get a lot.
Well, and
of
their selection. I've never. It's the largest selection I've ever seen inside Nebraska.
Yeah.
There's a couple states that I've been to where they have, like Wisconsin definitely has quite a selection, but this rivals that. It's huge,
I agree.
unbelievably big. This is the largest bar I've seen, and you can go in there and order a drink and go shopping.
Yep.
That's what
Warehouse style, so it's not fancy, but it's not warehouse style.
that was the first thing Erica
So-
said about the place. I walked in and I saw I could order a drink and go buy drinks.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
My only negative about it would be the cooler selection. They have a
small.
small cooler. Yeah, and they have a lot of the generic, like the Budweiser, Bud Light, Coors Light is in there, and they have some craft beer in there, but most of the craft beer selection is outside of the cooler. So it's if you want something to take home and drink right away, you're pretty limited. But
Yep.
if you're okay with just picking it up and put it in your fridge and drink it, in a few hours or a day from now, it's perfect.
Well, it's weird because they even had like Fireball in the cooler. And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure they rotate that out.
Filling
So
space.
actually, one of the beers, probably my next one, is going to be one that I got from the cooler there.
now do they they had a few single beers in the cooler? Did they have single beers outside of the cooler? Because I noticed
did,
they
and
had
that's-
like
that's
4
actually-
and 6 packs.
Yeah, so that's actually what I ended up doing is I bought one 6-pack, and I'll show that here in a little bit. But all the rest of the beer that I bought there was all single beer.
Okay.
Oh, so they got like make your own mixed 6-packs and stuff?
Not necessarily make your own 6-pack. You just buy the
One beer at a time?
Whatever.
Well, and then for those of you who don't drink beer,
Yeah,
like
they
me,
do. They do have 6-packs and 4-packs.
but they have a lot of like hard cider, seltzers.
seltzers,
They
yeah.
have every single liquor you could possibly think of, and it's all in categories and sections. They have like 4 big rows of all types of wines. They have
Yay.
yeah,
Yeah,
which
yay.
is why I want to take you there. And then like in the middle they have their bulk stuff where you could buy like 6 bottles and send in like a rebate and end up saving $60 or something like that. Like there's deals all over within there as well. So it's a pretty cool setup. It's a little confusing once you walk in, but once you kind of get the gist of it, it all makes sense.
Nice.
So, and there's a lot of stuff there that I've never even seen before. So it's definitely give yourself a little bit of time to go kind of shop around in there and see what
Right.
you can find.
Speaking of places to check out, we did the Riverwalk yesterday. Went
was
and walked
fun.
down there downtown. Brian, I don't know if you've
I guess
ever.
you should quantify. I guess you should quantify because we are bouncing between locations. You know,
Yes,
were
we
just
are.
Talking about Omaha. Now you're talking about down in Texas.
Down in San Antonio. San Antone.
Yes.
Yeah,
San
San
Antone.
Antone.
We went down to the Riverwalk and walked around for a little while. We popped into an ice cream shop down there. We went and saw the Alamo, and unfortunately, the Alamo is closed.
Yeah,
Um,
I had read up on that.
So some people, I guess, defamed it a little bit, did some
Well, they
graffiti
were
on
worried
it.
about
Well,
that.
yeah. They when COVID hit, they closed it down, and then when the protests happened, they had to put fencing up all around it.
Because it got spray painted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they spray painted the memorial, I guess. So it was kind of a bummer. We couldn't even like walk up and read the informational placards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, but we could at least see it.
We got to see it. Yep.
And just
Absolutely.
be there and kind of be
Absolutely.
quiet and stare at it and read what we could.
I'll be back when it's open.
Yeah, but it was nice. We met a lady down there that's a reporter for the Republic Journal, Republican
Conservative
Journal,
Review, I thought it
Conservative
was.
Review, something like that. And she was really knowledgeable on the situation, on getting stuff that's happening right now, which is
Yeah.
kind of a bummer. Hence the reason why you're there and we're here. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
there
and-
was a lot of decisions that went into that.
Yes.
Well, and Texas was very lifted in a sense with a lot of their rules and regulations with all of the COVID stuff happening. And then they spiked recently, and so they went back to having to wear masks into, all of the locations publicly. So,
So it is required when you're outside.
So
A mask.
Yeah.
when Erica got in on Sunday, they went to the grocery store and they didn't have to wear their mask. But then Mom and I
Starting
went to the store
Monday.
Monday, and we had to wear them. So
I think it just depended on the time of day and
Yeah.
who was standing at the door.
I don't know.
I think they just thought you guys look a little sick.
yeah, right. Can we come in,
Yeah.
sir? You're drooling from the mouth.
But I mean, like last night we went out to the restaurant and it did say masks required, but they put us in like a side room where it was just the 10 of us. There was no one else, no other tables around us. So we were kind of getting the side eye from some people, but we didn't know.
We were contained in kind of our own little space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I mean, like
We were self-contained.
even when we went down to the Riverwalk and the Alamo, I mean, people just outside in general were wearing masks. If you went, like when we went into the ice cream shop, we had to put our masks on.
Yeah.
If we went into like the Rainforest Cafe to use the restroom, we had to put our masks on. So if you were going inside of a location, you had to put your mask on.
Yeah.
So they said that had all changed within the last week.
Where did we stop? Where were we going to go into? What was that museum that we were going to go
Oh,
to?
the
Texas
the
Ranger.
Texas Ranger Museum.
We were going to go to
Yeah.
the Texas Ranger Museum. It was, they must have really nice artifacts in there for the price of admission that they're charging.
Yeah, I mean this building was like a 2-story, kind of like an old hotel style building with a bar downstairs, and you could see upstairs. But
The price of admission was.
They wanted an arm and a leg.
It wasn't that bad.
We decided to forego that.
Yeah. We all could have gone to World of Fun for the day.
No.
Almost.
Whatever.
Close to it.
Lots of Fun's not open.
It isn't. You're right. So. How are you doing, Brian?
Good. I'm good. I'm enjoying just sitting for a little bit. Just
What have you been up to?
rare.
Yeah, it
So,
seems
have
like
you
you've
been
been
up to?
working a lot.
we've been well, we got some stuff coming down the pipeline with the family because we have in-law Leslie is moving home for 2 months.
Wow.
So we're getting things ready for here. Yeah, she's got to be in quarantine for 2 weeks when she gets here. They're coming from Brooklyn. Nothing's open. They're getting tired of doing nothing. So they're going to move home for minimum 2 months, possibly a year, maybe for good.
Are they renting a house? Are they gonna get an apartment? Are they moving in with somebody?
Right now they're quarantining at Lauren's folks' house, and then they're gonna stay here for 2 weeks while they quarantine. And then once that's over, they're gonna make decisions depending on what happens with the school districts in New York. They may move in here with us and then send their kids to the same school as our kids. And so we're not, there's a lot of question marks right now, and all that's going to be decided hopefully sometime in July.
Speaking of decision making and all that stuff, and you might have a little bit more insight into some of this school stuff. Have you heard what they're going to be trying to do in Omaha to reopen schools and things of that nature?
No, they're not supposed to be making any calls until July 15th.
Okay.
Correct.
So anything you read now, just don't read it.
Okay, because I've seen some of the stuff. It's like
my
might be
wife is in the
part-time.
school. Yeah.
Just don't read it.
Yeah.
Don't read anything until July 15th.
My wife is in the school district, and they she would know, and they don't know.
No.
there's like Erica said, they're not making any decisions until probably a couple of weeks before they send the kids back. And there's like all options are on the table.
Right, and you have so many people writing articles and putting stuff on Facebook and, oh, I read this and this said that and this is how it's going to be. No, they have not made the decision. They will not make the decision for good until July 15th.
Yep.
So.
It'll be interesting.
Well, and I'm in the boat with G-Man. Like, he's supposed to start preschool in the fall. And I said, if they have to go back and have to wear masks and they're going to be bugging the kids to keep these masks on their face all day, and really I feel like they wouldn't be learning anything at that point, and the socializing aspect of preschool would be non-existent. So I'm not going to pay for preschool when I have a sister-in-law who's a preschool teacher and some good friends that are preschool teachers and could just give me a curriculum and I could teach them myself at home. So
a new thing that I saw.
Well, and also
Go ahead, Brian.
Kids are petri dishes. I mean, we all know, anybody that's had kids, they know that when they go to school, they get all the stuff that's floating around the school.
Yep.
So I think that teachers and the administration is very aware of that, because if a case were to come into the school, it would spread like wildfire. And what if the teacher gets it? What if the substitute gets it? What if a kid in the class gets it? What if all the kids in the class get it? So it's, I mean, there's really no good scenarios right now.
Yeah.
So, but they're trying to plan as best they can for him, but unfortunately, there's just so many question marks right now.
I saw something online where, just to fit the amount of kids back into school, that they had to space the desks 6 feet apart. Well,
with social distancing, is that?
Yeah, with the whole 6 feet parameter thing, whatever. They were putting sheets of plastic down an aisleway and like using two PVC piping to hold it all together so that they could just put two desks kind of close to each other, and then there's this big plastic film ran in the middle of it. I'm like, I don't know about that. Then half the kids can't see the board, and I don't know. That's just kind of weird.
Just instead of handing kids iPads, just do the bubble. Remember Bubble Boy? The movie?
Yeah.
Just put them all in little
Instead of
bubbles.
handing
Bubbles.
iPads out to all the kids, just do Bubble Boy.
There you go. We're issuing bubbles this year.
Bubbles. Just walking down the hallway, bumping into each
Oh,
other.
like bubbles? Like a bubble gun? No, no.
Not the same thing.
And I feel like
Yeah,
at that point
We've got
they're gonna have
a bond issue right now.
right.
Yeah.
We got to pay for the bubbles.
Well, and I feel like at that point they're gonna have more socialization going back to the e-learning and having like the Zoom sessions than they would actually being together in school if they're separated like that.
And our girls have done that, and they're actually still doing camps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right now, where they sorry, I just
You're
had a
still coming
notification
across,
play.
Brian.
Okay, well, it's a sleep timer on my the hours, so hopefully this doesn't shut down on me. so
Looked
we'll
like
see.
you might have dozed
But,
off on us.
Yeah. Well, I am invisible sometimes.
That's
so.
true.
Anyway, the girls, they've been doing camps. They're big into theater and all that, and so they've been doing camps on Zoom, and doing their dance classes and vocal classes and all that on Zoom. And I think it's just become their reality right now, and it seems to be working out pretty well. I think the e-learning thing for the girls during the school year, they actually really enjoyed it because they could like sit down. They could wake up early in the morning and focus and get all their work done, go to their meetings, and they were done by like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. and it
Sounds like they're
wasn't
prepping
every
them for
day.
work already.
Yeah.
I had morning meetings and then.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, so there was a Saturday that I was home, which was rare, and I'm sitting there in the kitchen having coffee, and one of my girls comes in there and they're like, "Man, that Zoom meeting was brutal." I'm like, "When did you be coming to? Did you want some coffee? What I mean, what?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it black. No sugar.
Well, and it was nice because it wasn't every day either. I
Yeah.
mean, they had 3 days a week where they were doing Zoom meetings,
Right.
so you had to be like in front of the computer at that time. And the other 2 days, they were just doing, random assignments here and there that the teachers sent out. So it's not like they were glued to
And-
their computer 5 days a
Well,
week.
it was kind of by the teacher, by the district type thing too, because like Ryan's boy Junior, he was telling me about how they had to be on Zoom from here to here, and while you're there, you had to have your camera on.
Well,
and,
yeah.
and
so-
it's like, hold up though. His mom was like, "You're not gonna have your camera on the whole time. You can turn your camera on to say hi. Here I am. I'm here." And then
well, no, that's so they know that you're there and paying attention
Yeah.
to the
Yeah,
class.
instead of
it's-
just turning your Zoom
but-
meeting on and
but I
leaving the
mean-
room.
Right.
on the flip side of the coin, it's a little bit invasive.
I'll agree.
Okay, but how
Well,
is it any
and
different
so
than them
I-
sitting in a classroom?
'Cause
They're
they're at-
being
'cause
seen
they're at
in a
home.
classroom.
'Cause they're at home.
That's why you have them sit in a designated area to do schoolwork.
Right. No, I'm just throwing another angle out there. That's all.
No, I know.
Very
But
true.
but the background would be school,
Yeah.
not your home.
Not your home, not your kitchen, where your mom might have her business. You know.
So then do it somewhere where you are against
No,
a
I-
wall.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I get both sides. I'm just pointing out. There's
So there-
difficulties involved.
There was a
I guess.
Go ahead, Brian.
there was a Con Ed that I did, a continuing education class that I did, and it was a 2-day thing to get a lot of Con Ed. And the way they did it was a Zoom meeting. Nobody's cameras were on. It was only the presenters' cameras that were on, and none of the microphones were on, so it didn't get confusing. But there was the chat going, and then periodically, like every random 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever, they would ask a question and you would have to respond. And that's how they kind of took attendance and made sure that people were paying attention and all
Still
that.
awake.
Because it was right, exactly, because it was like I think you got 8 hours of per day over 2 days.
Yeah.
So they wanted to really make sure that you were paying attention.
You're gonna earn it.
And it was in four
Billy,
different
what's your
sessions
last
over 2
name?
days.
Billy?
Yeah. Well, it was
Billy.
a random question. Like it may have something to do with what they were talking about, or it may just be a random question, just to make sure you were paying attention.
Yeah.
So I thought that was clever and a good way to make sure people are, not just because like I said, all the cameras and all the microphones were off. You just saw that so and so was in attendance. So it was a neat way to actually make sure people were paying attention.
Yeah.
You ready for the next one?
I am ready for the next
am.
one. I was thinking the same thing.
Sure.
Shout out to Cassie.
Well
She's
said,
watching.
Eric. Well said.
And Tony, if you're still watching, what's up, dude?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. This one's fun. This is the one that I was talking to you about earlier that I actually found in the cooler at
I don't remember
the
seeing that
Wine,
one.
Beer, and Spirits.
What you got, Brian? You can go first.
An invisible beer.
Give me a second.
What's he pouring? Nothing.
Yeah, pouring.
There it is.
Nothing. Yes, nothing at my sleeve.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a good one.
Yeah, this is Belching Beaver. Hazer's gonna haze.
Ooh.
So
Haze is gonna haze, man. And all the beavers on the can are like looking like they're hazing the beavers.
Yeah,
it's tough to see.
It's an IPA. I like this one right here. This little graffiti tag here.
Damn good times.
Damn, beaver
'Cause they're
damn.
beavers. Kid.
But
Yeah. Play on words.
What's the percentage on that, Brian?
I'm looking for it right now, actually.
It's creek water at 4%.
Creek water.
Hazy IPA. Yeah. And this is another. So notice my can. I don't know what cans you guys got there, but I've got the full pint cans over here.
Yeah.
This is 5.6. I'm sorry, 6.6. So it's slightly heavier than the Scotch ale that I was drinking earlier. Just barely.
I did get the full pint cans, but we don't have them on the show. We've got what was it? Lagunitas something haze.
Sure. Now you're backtracking.
What was that?
Hazy Memory.
Yeah, Hazy Memory by Lagunitas.
That's the 4-pack. It's still in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the fridge
Yeah.
in the main
Man, look
house. Oh yeah, that does look
That
good.
looks hazy.
I didn't bring glasses out here.
When it's not invisible.
Yeah.
We're kind of out on a, what would you call this? A bungalow?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
It's
Can you read it?
cabana.
A cabana. Yeah,
Cabana.
we're in a cabana. Hey, drink talk. There you go. We're in a cabana. So I decided to go against bringing out glasses so that you could see it because bugs would get up all in there and stuff. So, yeah, that Brian I'm sure is fantastic.
Sure. Oh.
What we're
Well,
drinking.
and also that the
It looks very
sorry,
light.
the
In fact,
smoke
it turns
one that I had-
invisible most of the
Yeah.
time. Very light.
You have to.
light.
It's so light
Look
I
at
can
that.
see right
wow,
through
that
it.
is like, oh,
It's
there
like
it is.
0-calorie beer.
Yeah.
No, that's an 8%er, isn't it?
For those of you that are going to listen to this later, I have a background that says Drink Talk, but it's a digital background. It's not the actual background, and so every once in a while things disappear because
Yeah.
it's
Like your
It's not
head,
Like
your
you're sitting in
arm.
front of a green screen.
Right.
yeah. Well, I kind of am really. I mean, that's kind of what it is. I could turn it off, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So this one is another
Welcome
one
back.
from the Real Ale Brewing Company, out of Texas, and this one's called Fresh Kicks. It's got a pair of shoes on it, and it's a hazy IPA, and it's a
Hazy.
6.6. And Erica, what do you got there, Erica?
She got a Not Your Father's root
I'm
beer.
drinking not your father's root beer.
Oh, those are dangerous.
Wow, that's fitting.
cheers. I don't think I forgot to bring out a bottle opener. I'm gonna figure that one out.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I bet there's one out here.
I bet you there's a way we can do this.
There's
I mean,
And I'm going with the Joel Gott red wine.
oh boy.
Ooh.
Say, I bet.
Oh, fancy.
I almost
You broke it.
I almost decided to do the barrel.
Uh-oh.
I've already been cut twice tonight, dude.
Well, that took the cap off and part of the top
Part
of
of
the
the bottle.
bottle.
I bet
He
there's
just-
a bottle opener out here.
He
though.
just broke the bottle. I drink some glass.
It-
You know,
It happens.
it's all good. Hopefully he filters
Okay.
that.
Now he's gone. We can talk about him.
Anything. Just spit it out.
So, what do you guys really think?
It's all good.
Oh, family, love it.
That breeze can
Love
come back anytime.
It's nice
Yeah.
to reconnect.
I know. I watched inside. And I
Yeah.
was like, ooh.
So is it? So from my angle,
Yes.
looking in on you guys behind you, is that completely open into the pool, or is it
Yes.
actually?
Yep.
That's
We're-
a
That's
that's a
fun.
landing zone for
We're
the
in a-
mosquitoes.
We're in a cabana.
You have a malaria pond back there. Is that-
It's actually a pretty nice pool.
It is very
Did you
nice.
throw it away?
No, I just put it in the fridge, but you might want to
Filter
run
it?
and filter it. Yeah, you might want to do that. But it's in
Really?
the fridge.
Maybe with broken glass? Not a bad idea. Yeah.
No, most of it was up in the cap still.
Most of it.
Okay.
Most all
That
of
we
it.
know of.
So
Thank you for not
yeah.
bringing me
Cheer-
back the same one.
Cheers.
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 Are we sure this
oh
one's
yeah,
okay?
Air Clinkies from Omaha.
Air
Clinkies.
Clinkies.
Ooh, I kind of this one.
This one's not bad.
Have you
This
ever
one's a
tried
little
this?
bit fresher.
I'll tell you what, this Real Ale Brewing is.
wanna try
They're
it?
doing pretty good.
They're
Yeah,
on
I
point
got
so
this.
far. 2 for
I'm
2.
Do you like root beer?
Mm-hmm.
2 for 2
You
in
can.
Texas.
It's definitely hazier than the squirt gun.
hazier, and it says fresh kicks, and I would have to agree with the label that this is a little fresher than the last beer.
Yep.
It just tastes fresher.
A little
Mine's
heavier than last beer too. 6.6. And the
yeah.
other one was 6.2 or 6 something.
I don't remember. I
Then-
threw them away.
FYI, not your father's root beer is 5.9%.
Hey, that was actually not half bad. I
It
had
tastes like
Well,
root beer.
Those are so dangerously good.
They
I
have,
know.
They have so many
Yes.
different flavors too.
Dangerously good.
Really?
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 different flavors.
Yeah,
in
they
it.
have like
Wow.
a
cream soda. Jinx.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Jinx, you owe me cream soda.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Sweet. Maybe 2. Or
Yes.
12.
I'll have to look
Jeez.
for that last time. No, but I got this at the beer, wine, and spirit place for like $7.99 for a 6-pack.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Or
When you care enough to spend the very most.
that's only like $1.30
Mhm.
I'm-
a thing.
Doug Blaney's watching.
Yeah. Good, quick math.
Hey,
there.
Dougie.
What's up, Doug?
Hey, Doug. I
I got it going on my
hopped
phone
on
over
a
here.
little bit ago. Yeah.
Oh, I meant to grab my phone when I went inside.
Yeah. My computer has told me many of times that I should stop and restart and put this in 480 or 1080. Yeah.
Nah.
I'm like, nah, I'll just keep going. My countdown clock is still going, and worst case scenario, I can re-upload
go
this
share
because it saves onto the hard drive of the camera. So,
Yeah.
worst case scenario, we still have a full live feed without any interruptions
Later on.
later on the camera. But anyway, I kind of want to get back to the talk of COVID. Go ahead.
Sure, I just there's something I wanted to bring up. So we have a mutual friend that actually has been on the podcast a few times that has his own podcast now called Culture of Craft.
Oh,
And
yes.
he's been watching for a little bit, and he actually just moved back locally. Sean, if you look up his podcast, Culture of Craft, he's got a few episodes out there. They're really good. But,
Sorry, we've got an airplane going by right now, Brian. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I'll speak louder into the microphone.
Your sultry voice. It's nice.
I helped him move back into town, and he's got a little studio set up, and he's got some stuff that he's working on, and I think Britt and I are going to be doing a collaboration with him a few times, which is going to be really good. So I'm excited for the podcast collaboration.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah, I'm totally available whenever, whether we do it at his place or our studio or whatever we want to do. But yeah, I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, he's got a nice little setup. I mean, it's small, but it's a nice little setup because he's more of a I think he's kind of a go on location kind of guy. But he can do it from his own pad, which is good.
Jeez.
So we'll see what the future brings.
So yeah, no. Getting back to the conversation of rules and regulations, Brian, how many rules have you broken going into a grocery store and going the wrong way down a aisle?
You know, that happened to me the first time I went into one of the grocery stores, and a policeman comes up behind me, and he says, "Sir, excuse me, you're going the wrong way." And I turned around and looked at him, and I go, "How do you know where I'm going?" I mean, really?
Yeah.
But
I didn't know it was a one-way street.
I've been known to break those rules a little bit.
I have not really had much. I mean, there's been a couple times where I didn't notice it until it was too late, but I've never really had. I think here in Nebraska, we're doing okay. Not fantastic, but we're doing okay. And I think there's a huge divide in people in Omaha. It depends on where you live in Omaha. You've got the people, like, you can go to one part of the city and you walk in the store and almost everybody's wearing masks and they look at you sideways if you're not. And then on the other part of the city, you go in and nobody's wearing masks and they look at you funny if you're wearing one. So it's so all over the map in Omaha, so to speak. Slight pun intended. But I think that we're doing fairly okay here. So it's just really, the numbers are so weird, and it's hard to. I don't want to get into all that in this talk.
Yeah.
Are we still talking about COVID?
Quick.
A little bit.
Well, we were talking about the wrong way down, or the one-way aisles at the grocery store. I saw the Fire Department Chronicles. It's this little Instagram thing I follow, and he made a video of him back in the, like, he goes to the aisle and then he just backs up down the aisle.
Goes backwards
down the aisle so he can go the right way.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah,
If nobody's in the aisle, I guess.
Loophole.
Just go backwards down the aisle. No, I'm going forwards. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was here. I had to back up a minute.
Yeah, right?
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
I've always been in this aisle. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't
think
been
your
paying
mind just
attention to
rewinded.
those at all.
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Every
Well,
time
not
I've
every store
gone,
has those.
Well, no, just Hy-Vee did, and every time I went up there was people walking down the wrong way, and I was like, well, okay, I guess they don't apply anymore. I don't know.
And Hy-Vee's a grocery store for those of you that don't know.
If you don't know what Hy-Vee is,
Well, I
I
mean,
don't live in
we
Nebraska.
have people that
if you don't
listen
chew
from
Big
outside.
Red.
Yeah. Midwest. Yeah.
Sorry.
I got my Big Red little bracelet on there.
For the
my
Texans, it would
watch.
be just like a Hebe grocery
Hebe.
store.
Yeah, they're everywhere down here.
Hebe. The Hebe.
Is it Hebe or H-E-B?
H-E-B.
H-E-B.
You can
Okay.
call it Hebe, though.
Hib.
It sounds like you got the hib. Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like you caught something.
Is that a Houston environmental boy? Is that?
I have no idea.
Yes.
Let's not go there.
I don't know. Yeah.
You know, we don't want to go down that path. No, we don't know where we're going to end up.
Too weird.
It opens up a wormhole.
What kind of
What do
time
you
you
want?
got tonight? yeah. That's for another, not just another podcast, but another series of podcasts.
Yeah.
So what are we supposed to be talking about tonight?
Well, I mean, we kind of called this one
So
Reconnect.
what are you guys drinking on it over there?
We got
Same thing
The
as we did
fresh
5
kick.
fresh
minutes ago.
kicks.
Yeah.
What do you
Well,
have?
I didn't hear about the fresh kick. I heard about Brit's and I heard about Erica's, but I didn't hear about Eric's fresh kick.
That's
Oh, it's the same thing.
Britt and I
Oh,
are
is this
drinking the
the
same
same
thing.
thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got the variety.
Eric and I
pack.
are on the same page,
Yep.
and Dad's got the wine, and Erica's got her own style over there.
As always.
Whatever she
Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever you want,
Yeah, same here. So you and me in the same boat there, Erica. We're good.
right?
yep.
The
I'm
black
drinking on the
sheep.
Belching Beaver.
Yeah, it is
Mhm.
good stuff. That Belching Beaver I had a couple weeks ago.
Except for I don't drink beer.
It's okay.
I know.
It's okay.
Well, I wanted to drink my Captain, and Brett was like, "No, drink something that's like I can put in the cooler and like you can show people."
Tell Brian about your new drink.
Which one?
Well, you came up with one, but then I found there was a name for it. I guess I don't know.
Oh, well, I have a couple drinks for the summer. So I have a Jamaican rum punch, which is light rum, dark rum, and coconut rum. But I just use Captain if I don't have all of those available. And then
Wait, you just replaced
Which
all
kind
of
of
it. Just
Captain?
pour
Just the regular?
Captain in it.
Substitute some other liquor.
yeah,
Just replace it all with Captain.
and then I use orange juice, pineapple juice, and grenadine. It's super yummy. So that's drink number 1. Then my drink number 2 of the summer is called Mermaid Lemonade. You put the blue curacao in the bottom, and then your rum of choice, and then fill the rest with lemonade. Super simple, super refreshing, kind of like a mojito without the mint, almost.
But you have to drink it at the bottom of a swimming pool.
No, not necessarily. And then the one that I just made today was called, Buffalo, what was it called?
Yeah,
Buffalo Punch or something, or Buffalo.
Yeah, something like
Something.
that. Buffalo
Buffalo
punch.
butt breath.
Buffalo punch. I think you got that right. Buffalo's breath.
So
huh?
you had to say that. You can get belching beaver. You can
Again,
have-
if I can find drinks that I can make with Captain to spice it up a little bit, it makes my heart happy. It was Captain Morgan with pink lemonade and 7-Up. That was it. And it was very refreshing to have during the hot sunny day in the pool.
Speaking of the hot sunny day in the pool and you making refreshing beverages, your sangria was
Oh, yeah.
That was,
great.
that was on point.
Yeah.
I did. I made fresh sangria, which has like wine of choice, red wine. I normally do a Pinot Noir just because it's a little bit lighter and a little bit smoother. Then I do blackberry brandy. I put in peach schnapps, and then I pour in the bottle of wine. Let that marinate for just a little bit, and then I cut up a lime, a lemon, and half of an orange, and put that in there. Let it sit for a little while, and then you pour in either Sprite or 7-Up, and let it sit for a few hours so it flattens out because you don't want to drink it while it's fizzy. And it also takes some of the other flavors from the other things and lets them marinate with each other. Really, you should have it sit for a day or two, but we weren't waiting that long.
We had to drink it.
It was hot.
So we ended up
Sangria.
Yeah.
getting it by dinner time, and it was superb.
And I
very
made
good.
my world famous carbonara.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It
Yep.
is
Oh yes.
muy bueno.
Not the Cajun carbonara.
No.
We
Oh,
talked
come
about that.
on.
Yeah.
You'll
What's
never
that?
live that down.
Hold on.
Eric-
How many cups of pepper?
Eric finally got filled in on that story. I don't know how
It
he
was
had
just
never
one.
heard.
Oh,
All
just
right.
just one
All
cup.
right, all
Just
right.
one cup.
So for our viewing audience that are listening to us right now,
One time I made a mistake.
there was one time Brian and I lived together, and this would have been 18 years ago by now.
And we're still talking
Oh, it's-
about it.
It was
Yeah,
two.
well, you
it
might
was
be
two.
right.
It was
You're right, you're right. It was
2002,
two-
2003. It was maybe 2004, something
Well, I
right
got
in there.
I got out of the military in 2003, so it would
There you
have
go. It was
been,
2003, so it was
2004.
darn near 17, 18 years ago. And
Jeez, you're
I
old, Ryan.
and
I know.
I knew this.
I know. See all the gray.
I knew this recipe by memory, and it's like a one box of pasta, and it's 1 pound of sausage and 1 pound of ham, and it's 1 egg white, and it's 1 cup of parsley and 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. And so, of course, it's 1 cup of pepper.
Yeah, it was one something pepper.
And the thing was, when Brian and I lived together, we went to Costco and shopped and stuff. So, of course, we had that amount of pepper in the house. And so there were Brian and who else was over, Brian? One of the funeral directors was over. God, what I can't think of it. He still
Chris.
works for us. Chris, yeah. Chris was like, "Are you sure that it's that amount?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's just 1 and 1 and 1 and everything." And yeah, no, we threw it out. We didn't eat that. I think we ordered pizza or something like that.
It
But
was like two bites and you were done for. It was
yeah, I was like, "Whoa, Brit, poof." But I have.
I got it. So there's a drink I wanted to ask you.
Now
guys
he made
about.
it
Have you
last
guys-
night, and it was amazing. Let's clarify.
So
that.
let's
It was
clarify
probably
that.
his best
I have
by far.
I have perfected the recipe to the fact where I use fresh parsley. I use fresh Parmesan cheese. I use 2 egg whites instead of just 1. And yeah, it's just all the and even just better, fresher sausage, better, fresher ham. The better, fresher ingredients you can get, the better it's just going to be. So yeah,
It
fresh
was-
is fresh.
So
It was
you
muy
refined
better.
The recipe, and now is it the COVID carbonara? Is that what that is? You refine the recipe.
I guess I don't know, something like that. But it was
So
was
have
even
you
good the
guys-
second time around.
It was legit.
There's a drink that I had heard about, and people are asking like if you can add alcohol to it. Have you guys heard of beef fizz? I mean, we're all Nebraskans, so
No.
Beef fizz.
we actually use beef fizz. It's ginger ale and beef broth and lemon juice.
Yuck.
Ew.
It's over ice. It's supposed to be like a refreshing, like if you like beef. But
Yeah.
I've got like friends asking, "Can you add alcohol to it?" Like
That was a little something we came up with down
I'd
at the
try it.
slaughterhouse.
Hey.
I,
I don't
I'd
know.
try it.
I don't know.
That sounds a little weird.
I might take a sip. That's about
The
it.
beef fizz.
Ugh.
Add a bouillon cube.
There you go.
The bouillon.
Right. Same difference, I guess. Ugh.
Yeah.
But anyway, our
Grind up some jerky.
our Italian night worked out pretty well.
Very good.
Carbonara and sangria,
Homemade garlic bread.
homemade garlic bread, that was good too.
You know, I will say, because of this whole pandemic, Nebraska changed their rules on mixed drinks to go. And I did a ton of those and proof here in Omaha.
All at one place. or-
Brian, don't confess to drinking and driving. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't. I mean, I just took them to go. I didn't say that I drank them in the car.
True.
Not that ever happened.
No,
Never.
So,
never.
You got
but
2,000
I did
pounds.
yeah, I did a
ton.
sangria from Proof, and their sangrias were top notch.
Well,
with, like,
Brian, the
quarter
episode
wedges of fruit.
the episode we did not too long ago, didn't we have some stuff
was
for proof?
April 18th was the last. I did. I had a couple things from Proof. I didn't bring the sangria. I might have talked about it, but
Yeah, we were
yeah,
we were
their
with
sangria is fantastic.
David and Becca doing that episode. They were
Yeah.
drinking beer, and we
For
were
sure.
drinking mixed drinks from all over the place. And one of the mixed drinks
Well,
was,
it was-
the
so the
smoky.
Applewood.
Yeah, the
Applewood.
Applewood. Yes.
I heard the Pacific Eating House has some really good to-go drinks.
Yes.
Oh, hey, there you go.
I heard the
nice plug.
Mai Tais are on point.
yes,
Yeah.
they do. Yes, they do.
And the blowfish.
Did you know
Yeah.
that they?
What's the
Britt, Did
blowfish?
you know that they have
It's a
grog?
punch.
It's a punt. Oh,
No,
you can't
I
go
did
wrong with
not.
punches.
I didn't. They have grog there at that place.
Pacific Eating House has grog
Really?
They also have
Ooh.
fairy nectar on tap too.
On tap.
on tap. Yes,
On
they
tap.
do.
Dad was saying that when we all get back from vacation, we need to have a dinner at Pacific Eating House, and
Yeah, that'd be
For
nice.
sure.
or actually, I think Mom was saying that. I was
I wonder if
yanking
we
my
knew
arm up in the
somebody
air,
that
saying,
could
"Go
get the
twist my
party
arm."
room.
Yes, the
Yeah,
party
I
room.
wonder if we knew somebody. We can get the party room.
Yeah.
And we'll just,
I don't know.
Can we
I'll
call
work
somebody
on
and make
that.
a reservation? You got some connections?
Let's see what I can do.
All right.
All right, fair enough.
Yep.
You were saying something about restrictions, though, Brian. When we kind of catch
Yes.
off.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I lost my train of thought on
Shoo.
that. So,
we
like,
kind of went sideways.
It's,
with
Are
that.
we-
it's
gonna get back
COVID.
on that?
You're losing your train of thought. It's a new problem they're having.
It's symptomatic.
Yes,
new
he now
symptom.
has one of the effects of COVID. He lost his train of thought.
Oh, it's all right.
has nothing to do that I've had a couple mixed drinks and a couple beers.
No. Perish the thought.
Eric and I are pretty much in agreement that when we do another family vacation, if we go to a house without a pool, we will be sorely disappointed. We will. This is kind of like
we've set a new standard.
Yeah, new standard with a pool in the backyard.
The kids have just.
The
basically,
kids.
they're living in there.
They did.
You have to
it's
get
hot
out.
out.
You have to go to bed. You can't go to bed in the pool.
We're going to take a break and drink a water.
The first
Right.
night we stayed here, I actually slept in the pool for about 2 hours.
He
It was
did.
very nice and enjoyable.
we were up a little late.
No
doing
joke.
some
Were you
drinking and-
levitating in the pool, just like
Well, so
floating, just-
Carly, I went to bed and Carly kicked me out of the room because I was snoring.
Now we're getting into details now.
I was snoring, and so I took it as an opportunity and looked down and realized I still have my swim trunks on, so might as well just jump in the pool. And I have deflated a raft to a point where like my whole body is in the water except for like my toes,
Your
hopefully.
nostrils.
my toes and my head. So it's like a headrest and just barely a footrest. And it's pretty darn comfortable. And so I sat in that for about 2 hours and then rolled out of that and then ended up doing swimming under the water for, I don't know, half hour or so.
It's difficult when you roll out of bed and you realize you're in the deep end.
Well, and I had randomly.
I'm a good swimmer.
I
fine.
randomly woke up in the middle of the night and I thought that it was the lady that slept here out in the pool, and I'm like, well, I guess. Like,
Now let's clarify that there is a separate house here
yeah, like
with
a
this
pool
house.
There's
Yeah.
a pool
She's
house.
not just sleeping in
Like,
this
No.
house with us
underneath
here.
where we are. Underneath us right now, there's a little
pool
cottage.
House. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a little pool house underneath the cabana.
We haven't talked. I don't know if we
And
can talk about this place. We haven't talked about this place yet, really.
No, we haven't talked about La Casa Elegante.
Like-
Well,
Casa
anyway, can I
Elegante.
finish my story real quick? So
Yes,
I
yes,
came
yes.
out and I thought that it was her in the pool, and I just was like peering out the window, and I'm like, oh, I think she saw me, and so I went back to bed, and then I was talking about it in the morning, and Britt comes in and he goes, oh no, that was me sleeping in the pool. I'm like, oh, I should have come out and thrown something at you or
Yeah,
something.
right? No.
Can you imagine it from her? Can you imagine it from her perspective? Like maybe
What?
she saw Britt. She's like, is somebody like?
Is that dude
Are
sleeping in the
they
pool?
okay?
Is he dead?
Don't they?
Is he dead?
Well,
I thought
she-
there were enough beds in the house.
She would not have been able to see him. You would have had to
Yeah.
been above him or at the pool level, and she's down below the pool
Gotcha.
level. So I legit thought it was her, and I'm like, I mean, if I had a pool and people were staying at my house, I guess I'd have to go in the middle of the night too if I wanted to go in the pool time. But yeah, I was just sitting there nonchalantly talking about it, and Brett walks in and he goes, "Oh, that was me in the pool."
It was a
was
very
sleeping,
it
and
was a
then-
very cool night. It was very breezy, and I was staring up at the. I mean, it felt like I was in warp drive. The clouds were going over at me like Mach 10.
Well, then he
You
got
know
in
how
trouble.
that feels?
Yeah,
Then he got in trouble.
Star Trek has taught me well.
Mom got mad at him.
Yeah, Mom's like, you should never sleep in the pool. You'll drown. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't drown. I'll be
Never
just fine.
realized at Mach 10 you were wet all over. It's really weird. Where that water comes from, I have no
Yeah.
idea.
It was just a really breezy night, and the clouds were going fast. And it was a neat sight to see.
Yeah.
We have a new theory about the universe now, Dad. Well done.
Ah, new theory. Yeah.
Floating in a
Just-
puddle of water.
Just in case you go Mach 10.
Is this what is it? Matrix all over again?
Could be.
Floating in a puddle of water, or that was
Yeah.
like
You just-
embiotic fluid or whatever.
it's all
You just
simulation.
think you're drinking beer right now.
Eric's eyes just got real big. Mind
You know
blown.
something. Like,
Okay, here
Yep.
we go with the age of
so,
Aquarius.
there's really
That's going on in my brain.
There-
I'm not joking.
All right, go ahead, Brad. What?
I was watching something with it was Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, and for those of you who don't know who that is, he's the owner of Tesla and SpaceX and all the stuff. And,
Was it the Rogan experience?
But they were talking about this neural link. Yes, exactly. So they were talking about the neural link thing that he's actually bringing out. And at first, it's just going to help people with like muscular and neurological orders. And they got to talking about how there's this new theory out about how we live in a simulation and all that. And Joe Rogan was like, wouldn't it be interesting? Your brain is in a jar somewhere on a shelf, just taking this all in. And Elon Musk thought for a second, and he's like, well, technically your brain is in a jar. It's just we call it a skull. And he said, if you think about it, everything that your brain interprets is, everything you see, smell, taste, feel, all of that is electrical signals, and that's it. And he said that was the premise for the neural link, is we can actually take those electrical signals, now that we know that it's just electrical signals, like we can mock some of those, and we can help people that have neurological disorders and add or subtract those electrical signals that aren't working. And same with the muscle disorders, we can add or subtract those electrical signals to the muscles so they work or don't overwork or whatever. And I was like, wow, that was a really interesting, profound little statement. That
it brings new meaning to sticking a fork in the light socket.
Well, you got hardwired, and what they're talking about is wet wired.
Yeah.
And once they figure out how to
wet wire.
Yeah,
and
that's
wet
exactly
wire.
what he's.
That's what you're
Yeah,
talking
and
about,
they've-
where you're
and they've
hooking it
figured it
into your
out.
brain.
Yeah, they've.
You know.
Yeah, and they figured it out, and the initial stages is going to be for that. And he said, down the road, maybe we can help with, memory extension, and maybe down the road we can just, plug into the internet and download, just like in the Matrix. I don't know how to fly that helicopter, and now I do.
Get rid of dementia as well.
Yeah, that's one of the neurological disorders that they're talking about.
Yeah, but then Windows is going to come up with an update that you're going to not be able to say, I don't want it.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden you're going to be speaking Latin, and all
Or
those people are dead.
If
so
you
that's
want,
no good.
if you want to
Right.
experience this vacation, you need the new version of Adobe.
Right.
You're not seeing all the colors.
You're giving a speech out in public, and oh, by the way, you have to reboot your system right
Yeah,
now because
yeah.
we just added an update.
Right.
And it will take 27 minutes for it to download.
Excuse
One
me,
of
folks.
12.
I'm gonna
Yeah, one of 12.
Yeah.
How we doing, Eric?
I'm empty.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's no bueno.
What?
Me too.
Well,
Ooh.
mine's inside, so I'll be right back.
I'm going all over the map here.
What you got
Yeah,
now?
the next one that I'm doing, since this one,
How do
I've got
I
Gaze of the
share?
Basilisk
Gaze.
from Cosmic Eye Brewing. It's a black lager.
Oh,
I'm,
fancy.
I'm a
I
fan
know,
of it,
I'm
actually.
knowing.
It's really, really cool. Lagers typically are like your
I'm just sweaty.
every man's beer.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
kinda-
this
kinda
one.
like a lager.
These are sweaty
We
on
had
my
some of
ear
these, didn't we?
holes.
These were in the
not
first
yet.
pack, weren't they?
Nope.
No, that was the other ones. That was the red and blue ones.
Yes. But I left those in the house.
This one looks
I
pretty
need a
fancy.
fan.
Brian, I did not hear
Look at all
any
this-
of what you just said, and I may have walked in the front of the camera when you were showing it off.
Pardon me.
Ooh, you got a dark one.
This is a lager.
A lager.
This is a black lager. It's called Gaze of the Basilisk,
Ugh, you guys have no hair.
which is a Harry Potter reference, actually.
Us and no hair. Okay.
I'm
cool.
not saying anything right now.
You could shave your head.
Right.
It's up to you.
That'd go over super well.
I don't know.
No, it's completely unrelated to that.
My
Sorry,
wife,
Brian,
my
I
wife
didn't
asked me
cut
if
you
she
off.
shaved her head. I was like, hey, you do you. You want
Right.
to shave your head? Go for it.
Yeah, we grew up with Sinead
What are we doing
O'Connor.
on
We're
Star
fine.
Trek?
Yeah, not to that point. You know what I mean? You got to keep it kind of the way you and I cut our hair, Brian. A little on the top, less on the sides. Make it look nice at least. Don't just buzz it all. Like, bye. Okay, bye.
Business in the front, party in the back.
I didn't know if I should say it. I don't think I will.
Get the mullet.
Brian, this will be an inside joke
Yeah,
later.
right. It will be.
Hey,
What you're drinking
I
matters.
guess we're not cool enough, Dad.
Yep. Chop liver.
Yeah.
Brian, cheers.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Cheers.
Seared.
Salute.
Oh, what are we got the hopadillo.
Yeah. No. Well, we'll cheers first, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Papadillo.
That black lager. Ooh,
Oh, Julie
it's like
Nito
a
is
charred
watching.
lager taste. It's really good, actually. Sounds
Hello,
weird, but
Julie.
it's really good.
Hi, Julie.
Interesting.
Yeah. What am I tasting?
You wanna talk about this one because I've
They
talked
have so
about the
many
last two.
squished armadillos on the road down here in Texas that they just started scraping them up and turning them into hopadillos.
Hopadillos.
Because they didn't hop out of the way in time.
There you go. That figures it
So
out.
Eric's
Is
gonna
this,
read it.
is this another real ale? No, this is Carbach. Carbach Brewing.
Yep.
from Texas. This one is the Hopadillo.
And it looks like
It's got a little hop that looks like an armadillo
yeah,
on the can.
with its tongue sticking out.
Yep, it's just an IPA, 6.6.
65 IBUs.
It's different.
It's different.
It's got something going on in there.
Yeah.
A little,
It must be the hops that the thing
black
is.
top
Different
and
kind of
rubber
hops in
tire
this thing.
sort of taste.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just got a little different kick almost.
And this one says, "Please remain calm." Here, there's a little saying here on the side.
That's the armadillo,
He-
just before impact.
Yeah, he lurks in the shadows, waiting for a bold.
Keep calm and armadillo on.
Yeah.
And he huffed and he puffed
Anticipation.
and he blew the house down.
He's surprisingly bitter. Oh, that's what it is. We got some surprisingly
some
bitterness
dry
going on.
hop.
Bitter's about something. Legend has it he feasts on the fresh hops.
They wrote a whole story about this beer.
coursing through the
Are
veins.
these like armadillo zombies?
Oh, it's a Texas
What
IPA.
are you talking about?
I have
right.
no
Look-
idea. I'm
look at
so
it.
confused right
Well,
now, and
look-
I'm here.
Look
Between
right
that
here.
and Brian phasing in and out.
Just says you've been warned.
Hopadillo.
My warp field is
Yes.
going a little bit
Yes.
out there.
It's all right.
Being beamed up.
You're at nine. What were we talking about? The speed.
You gotta look. You gotta talk into the microphone.
You were talking about going at a certain speed a little bit ago.
Warp speed.
Warp speed.
Warp speed, yes. You're just before warp speed,
Yes.
and you're phasing in and out. When you
Yes.
hit warp speed, then you'll be wet all over.
Does that mean I'm warp-esque? Warp-ist?
Warp it.
I don't know.
Warp aesthetic.
Warplish.
Warp aesthetic.
Okay, guys.
Subwarp.
Okay.
Let's veer
I'll be
to
right back.
another subject.
Yeah. Well, I did
Bring it
want
up.
I did want to talk about the statues that they're all taking down right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too far into it, but I do think that by doing this, they're kind of erasing history, because like when you see a statue out in like a public park or in front of a Capitol building, you are kind of like taken back to the old time, and you look at it and you go, oh yeah, that person did something for us, you know. And I get some of the things that they're doing. I get some of the statues they're doing. I get it, you know. Oh, they were slave owners, you know. Oh, this and that. But here's it is: if you erase your history, you're not learning anything. So I think it's
One of my favorite quotes is, if you don't learn from history, you are doomed to repeat it.
That's right.
right. So by taking these statues down, you're not going to learn about it, or you're not going
Well.
to remember it.
The question would be if they're really looking at what they're taking down, which it doesn't seem that they are. I think they're taking down statues of opportunity. So it's wherever there's a
Well-
statue, they take it down for taking it down, because a lot of the ones they're taking down were really working at, you know, the whole thing, the whole premise that we think Black Lives Matters is talking about.
Well, and my question is are they doing this because that's what people did before, like taking down Fidel Castro's statue and taking down
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein's
Yeah, we did
statue.
that.
So, you know, like this is like a big remembrance thing, and it's on the news. And are they just like, oh well, that's what they did before, so we should do that now? Like I
Well,
just don't get the
they-
premise
there
of
doesn't
these
seem
things
to
that
be
have
There
been.
was a
There doesn't
Go
seem
ahead.
any rhyme or reason to which ones they're taking down, though.
Yeah, they're just taking
They're
them all
across
down.
the board.
Yeah, they're like, oh, there's a statue, let's take it down. Even
so
like,
there was a
go ahead, Brian.
interesting article that I read on Hungary, and when it actually shook the regime change, they didn't destroy the statues. What they did is they took them and they created a park, and they put all the statues in the park. That way you could remember, you know, what had happened, which I thought was really interesting and something that I wouldn't mind doing. Britt and I actually had a talk a couple years ago. Well, it was more than a couple, 3 years ago, on Ferguson.
Oh, yeah,
remember
yeah.
When all that was going on, the uprising there, and they were tearing down statues then too. And at the time, you know, I was for some of the statues that they took down, and said as much on the podcast. And I've had time to reflect on that. And to me, like I understand that people want to do that, but for me, I don't want to erase the history, and I understand that people are like, well, it still can be taught in the schools and all that, but why can't we not create a shrine? I don't want to do that. Let's create a memorial, so to speak, with the statues and just put them there. Why can't we designate and make another park and put them there? Why can't we do the same thing that Hungary did?
Well,
To me, that makes a lot of sense.
It makes me think that, if anybody did something wrong or bad, we should just forget about them. We should just, tear the statue down and forget about it.
Which is ridiculous when you think about the statement that you learn more from your mistakes than you do from the things you do right. So even if
Right.
it is bad history,
Absolutely.
even if it's something we all disagree with, we leave it up and say, yeah, we all disagree with this. So, hey guys, let's not do it again.
Yeah. I mean, didn't they take down Abraham Lincoln's statue and he helped free the slaves,
It doesn't make any rhyme or reason. That's the problem. It's to me, it's just whatever's convenient.
I mean, I guess where are they going to, like, these statues, I'm sure they weren't cheap to put up.
No?
I'm sure there was a pretty penny that was spent on the copper and the steel or whatever they're all made out of.
Bronze.
Bronze usually made out of bronze. What are you going to do? Just put them in, like, are we going to have a new
Pretty
museum?
heavy.
Yeah, we're just going to have them in a new museum now, and it's like, here's the museum of statues people took down.
Some of them have been destroyed.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there's no putting them back up.
call me naive or
Yeah,
whatever,
put
but
underwater and
in
yeah.
all honesty, how is a statue hurting anyone? A. And B, what is taking the statue down actually doing? Like,
I think
The statue hurt somebody because they say, oh, well, that person was a slave owner, or that person was
that's like walking down the street, though, and someone else is walking next to you, and they hurt your feelings or piss you off, and it's like, oh, should you just wash them off the sidewalk? Because they upset you?
Yeah.
Like, it's a statue. Walk away from it. Go somewhere else. Go to a different park.
People's
like-
feelings are getting hurt a lot more nowadays, and that's
Yeah.
a bad thing. Oh, your feelings were hurt. Like, oh, do we need to coddle everyone all the time? I don't think that I need to coddle everyone.
With the introduction of social media and the way we live our lives and communicate with each other now, perception is a very real thing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even on this show, we need to watch what we say. We don't want to be too offensive
Precisely.
to anybody. I get that.
Perception is important, and if people think that this offends me and I'm gonna speak out about it, and I mean,
and you have your right to feel that way.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just so I'm gonna put this out there. I'm not taking sides here because
Yeah.
I feel strongly, pretty strongly one way, and but I'm just saying, people's perception comes into play, and
I fly an American flag outside my house. I do.
Yep.
And I will continue to do that. And it seems like some of these people don't want to fly that American flag outside their house.
On the flip side of the coin, there's no statues of Hitler in Germany, right?
No, well.
Now that's a pretty big extreme,
Yeah.
Right.
but
Right.
But
I
are we
mean,
going to write him out of the history books? Are we going to erase that? No, we need to
No.
learn from Hitler.
No,
We need
Well,
to learn
and
from
even-
the things
well-
he's done wrong.
Britt, I have specifically to that point. I mean, in Germany, they still have monuments to the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall is not up anymore, but
No.
there is still places where you can see where the Berlin Wall was.
Here's a chunk of the wall right here where it stood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't take it all down. They left pieces up
Mhm.
that you could go and.
not
This is
much,
it.
but yeah, and even some places it's just like a floor tile almost, like it was right here.
and
This is where it was.
that's an extreme example. I mean, we're talking
Yeah,
about
exactly.
We're talking
Another-
about
yeah,
people
Another extreme example.
from our history, from American history, that were leaders and changed the course of American history.
Well, all I know is whoever installed these statues did a
Right.
really crappy
Were they
job.
perfect people? No.
They didn't put enough bolts and they didn't weld it down good enough. And why are people able to tear these things down? They should be solid as a rock.
Well, it's not. It's not easy. I mean, if you
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I saw
it's not
people
really
hook their
easy
trucks
if
up to
you
them and
look at
try to
some of
yank
these
them out of there. I get it. Ugh.
I just wish that all this negative energy would like switch to positive energy and go into actually making a difference and doing something
Yeah.
good rather
Yeah.
than just complaining and crying
hatred.
about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the message got hijacked along the way.
And that's
Yeah.
not me trying to be like insensitive. That's just me trying to be productive rather than counterproductive.
Right. No, you're right.
like, I don't know. I could talk all night about it, but you guys said you don't want to have your opinions swayed one way or the other, so I don't want to get like too far into, and I don't want people to think that I'm trying to be insensitive for other people's feelings.
We are not insensitive here on the show. We
right.
We want to care to all people, but it seems, I don't know.
Everything is sensitive right now.
Yeah, it's you tread lightly by some people. You're just like,
which is crazy because all these sensitive people have all of their opinions and everybody is supposed to be sensitive to them. But then when you have your opinions that seem to counteract with that, then you're being insensitive. It's
so
like,
don't stray from your morals.
Right.
Follow your compass.
Right.
And don't let other people's opinions alter your beliefs.
There you go.
Oh, I agree.
Bingo.
I agree. I just wish that everybody would be happy and get along and stop making such a big deal out of little things. Not saying that a lot of these things aren't little, but there are some of those things that are little, and there are some of those things that are big, and I feel like we need to focus more on being positive than negative. And right now, everyone is focusing on negative, and it's exhausting.
Well, a lot of that's the media that's pushing that narrative.
Right. I agree with that, too. That's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if
We've
Drink
talked a
Talk's
lot
ready
about
for
that,
that.
on how media bias and how it's separating people and all that.
Yes, absolutely.
We've talked on that for sure. But
it's separating people to the fact that
to bring some positive into it, though, Britt, I should
go ahead. I was going to totally take it the other way. Go for
I was
it.
gonna say,
Positive. Please, thank you.
to bring it. Yeah, I'll bring some positive. I think for the next vacation, we should all visit Chaz and see
See how things are.
Brian, I totally was gonna bring up Chaz.
But do you have to have a passport?
But actually, they've renamed
Yeah,
it.
you
It's
should.
they renamed Chaz. It's now
is.
Chop.
Chop.
Yeah.
Now it's Chop Suey or
Do you-
Chop or whatever you want to call it.
I got my passport. Like,
the
When you
All
leave
right.
the country.
yeah.
I'm very confused on Seattle. So if you guys that are listening don't know the story about Chaz or Chop, which hilarious,
stands for Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone.
right? And
which
I have no
renamed
idea
its
what
name to
Chop
Capitol
means
Hill,
now.
oppressive.
I don't know. It went from Chaz. They didn't like it, so now it's
Oppressed
Chop.
people, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
The very, very first thing that Chaz, because it was Chaz first, now it's Chop, Chaz did was they established a border to their community. So
that was
they
like the first thing.
put up they moved barriers that were
Put up
road
walls.
construction barriers, and they put up a wall.
Yeah.
Now, while I don't agree with maybe what they're attempting to do, that's a pretty bold security move, and it makes a lot of sense.
You know,
Logical.
it's
It's logical.
it's pretty ballsy to take over the court and the Capitol building and a police station. That's pretty ballsy. Like, I don't wake up tomorrow and go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take over part of this city that's been it's government owned, but you know what? I'm going to own it now. It's my land. I'm going to plant a flag in the ground and claim this land for Spain. Weird. But they did plant a garden, so they're going to make some money off of that garden here in a couple
Yeah.
months.
Good luck on that.
Get some food going.
Get some food going.
You know, what about those other people that are there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
the
have a
business
business
owners
in
and
there?
what-
What
live
if
there,
you
yeah.
run a business inside the Chop?
What if you live inside
What
the
if
Chaz?
you
What if you have an
live-
apartment inside of Chaz?
Yeah,
You go,
Chop.
hey,
Chaz, Chop.
hey, I didn't sign up for this. Can I get out? Because you got to wonder, like, so now that Chaz is his own society and its own nation, do we have to start charging them to utilize the water because they didn't build the water system, the waterways? So you should charge them for water and you should charge them for gas, essentially. And
I think the utilities, they
I mean,
belong to the
city,
taxpayers.
The city gets billed for the electricity that the streetlights are.
The
So, like,
utilities belong to the people
Yeah.
who pay for them.
exactly. So,
We don't,
man, Chaz is going to have a big bill right
Yeah.
there at the end.
We're not sending utilities up to Canada. I don't know why we should send them to Chaz.
Right? Exactly. Shut it off. And be like, okay, oh, you want that? Well, here's your bill. It's going
Yeah.
to be $400,000 a month.
Yeah. You got that right next to the garden. Dig a well.
Exactly.
A big grow a money tree.
Big grow a money tree. There you go. For sure.
That's probably part of their demands.
Brian, I'm glad you brought up
There's
Chaz.
nothing else. It's kind of entertaining to follow this. No,
You know, it is.
It's
It
fun.
is.
It's weird,
sure.
and like, all right, we all don't know anybody that lives in
Yeah.
Seattle, so like, we don't know all what's going on, and we're getting this all from the media. Some sources are good, and some sources are bad. So, we won't cross that bridge right now. But like, just the fact that these people decided to march into the city and take it over, I just think is so odd.
Or the fact that the city allowed that.
I heard Starbucks is catering.
Starbucks is catering to them.
Is that fake news or not? I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Anything's
They
possible.
do have to-go mugs.
Well, here's the problem. So this area that's gotten taken over by Chaz and or Chop now, you're not going to have anybody want to rebuild. Like even the CVS and the Walgreens, the deli butcher shop, the whatever is there, the Jimmy John's. After this is all over and it goes back to being Seattle, all one piece. Do you think that they're going to want to go, you know what, let's rebuild there? That's a good idea.
Yeah, does it go from the autonomous zone to the dead zone? I don't know.
You all right, sis?
I'm perfectly fine. Eric's like, I can hear you breathing. I'm like, that's not me. Just because the microphone's on my throat
it could be.
doesn't mean you can hear me breathing.
It could be me.
That's me.
I am your
I breathe
father.
I have been drinking since 11 o'clock this morning. I am a little tired.
I know.
They got palm.
Day drinking.
Hey, they got palm
awesome.
trees here.
Hey, Brian, there's a pool in the backyard. Day drinking is
Yeah.
acceptable here.
I'm just a
Yeah,
little
perfectly
tired.
allowed, for sure.
On
You're out of your zip code. It's
Yes.
allowed.
day 4 of drinking most of all day since
Hey,
we've been here.
we found a toll-free way to Texas.
A
No, we
toll-free
didn't.
way.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Call a
did.
helicopter.
We didn't pay any tolls.
Well, we will in a couple months.
Oh shoot!
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah, that damn express lane.
Yeah, just
Yes.
zip right on through there. You don't need a
Yes. And
little
it's like-
beacon on your
it's under
car.
It's
No
under
problem.
construction, so it's like, oh, turn, no, yeah, I can't go back now.
Take the express lane. They're
You
all
guys-
going quick through there.
That's hilarious. You guys took the express lane.
Dude. Yeah, well,
we
you
took
know.
the expressway last time too, and I got a ticket, and there was a picture of it. So Eric and I were talking about it. We're like, we're just doing it.
We're doing it. We're stuck here. So
and he's like, should we flick off the camera? And I'm like, he's like, you do the cross
I said, you throw the bones and I'll flip the
and I'll
camera
flip
off.
the camera off.
That'll help.
So
So
here's
we're-
Erica going through the
Yeah.
camera, and here's me.
You're going to love that ticket and frame it.
Yeah.
Right. That's
It's
right.
We were going to charge you $50, but when we saw the
No.
picture,
It was $20, and it was totally worth the $20.
I don't know about
Totally
that.
worth
I don't know about that.
It will be when we get it in the mail with the picture.
well, no, that's a pretty
And
good
for
deal.
sure,
'cause
like that's like a.
it cost
that's a
us
hallway
$5,
worthy
didn't it?
picture.
Well, but yeah, like we tried to avoid like the what is that 70 that goes through Kansas?
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
we
Yeah,
did, like,
it's
some
Oklahoma.
back
Or
way and got stuck in kind
Yeah.
of like a half
Kansas, you
storm.
don't have to pay.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, you do.
Kansas. No, Kansas, you got to pay.
And that's where I ran over all the toads.
Maybe I got it backwards.
Yeah,
It
it's
was like-
Kansas. You pay.
You're
Oklahoma.
running over toads?
It reminded me of like
Oh,
the
Erica.
Ozarks.
Protect life.
I tried.
All lives matter.
I
Toads' lives matter.
Legit, I have never seen more wildlife in my life on road trips combined
Well,
than
all-
I did on our road trip down here this time.
None of the wildlife could pay the toll either, so they had to be on that road.
There was coyotes, there was deer, there was raccoons, there was possums, there was cats, there was toads, and
None
I
of that, Brian.
avoided
None of that.
avoided all of them but the toads because there were so
When was that?
many.
When was that I came down to
You guys bring
Oklahoma
the
on that
camper?
hog hunt?
No, they didn't,
No,
no.
not.
That was in February,
Yeah, so I was down in Oklahoma in February. Yeah,
very beginning of
I
February.
wasn't paying the tolls again. But we are going on a trip with the camper, Brian, in a few days.
They're going up to Yellowstone.
I'm gonna
Wait,
go
you-
see
I am-
Yellowstone.
you what?
They are going. I am not going on that one.
I'm sorry, Brian. What did you say?
Sadly.
I said you, me, and Brett. We need a drink talk excursion.
Dude,
Yes,
we've been saying that for
I
over a
concur.
year.
Yeah, just leave your sister out again.
Yes,
Be
we
great.
have.
And this would be drink talk from the camper,
on,
and
you're
everybody's
here
all
now.
squished together.
This is a guys.
It's my
this is-
camper too.
It's a sweet.
This is a guys.
Everyone is silent.
This is a guys.
And
and yeah.
It's like a guys outing.
Thanks. I know growing up with brothers sucks that I have no sisters to,
So
hang out with.
you talk about a $20 ticket. I've got a story about a $20 ticket. I was actually speeding in Montana, and
I thought Montana didn't have speed limits.
so yeah, no,
For a while, they didn't.
Until Britt.
Brian knows the story, so he's going to dip out and use the restroom real quick. But
Yeah.
we'll stay right here and tell the story. So Montana at one point did not have a speed limit whatsoever, and then it had a speed limit. So I think I was doing 90. No. 80, 85. No. 85 and a 65? No.
In a crosswalk.
Carry
He
the
was
two.
speeding.
I was speeding and I was doing 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. I was. So that's reasonable. Like if you do 5, they're probably not going to pull you over. But 20, yeah, they're going to pull you over. So lights, cherry bomb, they got me. They pulled me over. I was quick. I pulled over really nicely for them. He brought a dog with him, and that dog was barking. I'm like, I don't know why he's barking. I didn't do anything wrong.
I don't know what he had.
Anyway,
in
he's
his
like,
car.
can you step?
What do you smell?
Yeah, he's like, can you step out? And he brought me in his own vehicle, and the dog's in the back just barking up a storm. I'm like, is he normally like this? Anyway, he's like, man, you were speeding. I was like, no, I'll attest to that. I was speeding. I was 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. I do apologize about that. He's like, I'm gonna have to write you a ticket. I said, that's fine.
Get that dog out of here.
Anyway, he writes me the ticket, and I sign the ticket, and then he hands it over to me. And I really wasn't looking at the ticket at the time, but as soon as I signed it and he gave it back to me, and he's like, well, you can go on your way, and I was just about to leave. I noticed the ticket was only $20. It's $1 for every mile an hour you're over the speed limit.
If you're gonna speed,
So,
speed in Montana.
but here's
That's the place, yeah.
here's my thing. I was like, I'm not gonna be in Montana anymore because I'm heading back to my hometown. So like, how can I mail this in? He's like, yeah, no. Right at the bottom of the ticket, you mail it in. He's like, you can write a check to me if you need to. I'm like, what? Hold on. I can pay you cash, or I can write you a check. He's like, yeah.
Something's
I was
funky.
like, hang on a second. I went in, I wrote him a check. I'm like, who do you make the check out to?
Yeah.
And Montana State Police. I'm like, Montana State Police. I'm like, I was like, this is going to take care of the check. This is going to take care of the ticket and all that. He's like, yeah, no, it's take care of it all. I was like, great. Just got out of there. Just like $20 for every mile an hour he goes through it.
Did that-
I am going to fly through Montana every time I go.
Did that check
I'll go
clear?
50 miles an hour with the speed limit now.
Yep.
Did your check clear?
Yeah, my check cleared. Of course it did.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just like I was shocked to the fact that it was only $1 over every mile, and I was shocked to the fact that I could just pay the police officer.
The old me would have wished Nebraska had that law too.
Yeah.
The old me.
The old you that used to drive a motorcycle that sometimes went a little fast.
Let's not go there. Yeah.
It's okay. He doesn't have the motorcycle anymore.
It's all right.
Nope.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's called.
As a motorcycle,
That's
drives
called
by on
being
the
married.
I was say sorry, not sorry.
Could be a plane though too. We're kind of close to the airport over
Nah,
here,
the
Brian.
planes are loud here.
What planes? I don't hear anything with these on.
I don't know,
Brian,
Brian. How we doing over there?
are you doing invisible crafts?
Are you
Yes.
are you putting on hand sanitizer? What are you doing over there?
Nothing up my sleeve or even up my hand.
And look, there goes my hand.
Watch me dematerialize.
Oh yeah, whoa, that was kind of actually pretty darn good.
Ooh,
The old invisible hand trick.
so fancy.
There are. I know that I probably have a few people watching on here. I haven't been really watching the live feed, but there are a few people down here in Texas that do want to hang out with me, and I do want to hang out with you guys. But I've been having too much fun hanging out in the pool, so sorry that I haven't been able to get with you guys.
We'll be back.
It's a curse and a blessing.
Yeah,
It's gone by really fast, though.
These
It did.
4 days have
Are you guys,
Yeah.
flown
you guys
by.
leaving tomorrow?
It's been a nice place.
So
Yeah,
Eric,
Eric
and
and
Erica,
I.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eric and I are headed out tomorrow. We are headed to Killeen to see some friends of ours, Tony and Kristen,
Yep.
and hang out with them. Have some good times.
For a couple days, and then we'll go back home.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're home for a few days, and then they're leaving, and unfortunately I'm staying and taking care of all the animals.
You do have a lot of animals.
Yeah.
And guess what, Brian? Erica confessed to me that she wants more of them.
Yeah, and so, and then Brian, after I get back from Yellowstone, I'm back for a week, and then I leave again for 2 weeks.
Yeah, there
Army
goes
games.
summer.
So, like, literally, I work 6 days in July. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. And you know, you did a little work today. I think you were on your computer.
I
for
was on my
like
computer.
15
Well,
minutes.
I did like a few hours of work on Monday, so
Yeah.
I
we're
think
all
that
right.
was yesterday.
It was
Whatever.
Monday. Yeah,
All the
whatever.
days are kind of blending
They
into
are.
each other.
They are. All I remember is the pool.
Was that Tuesday? Was that yesterday? When did we make that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Were we in the pool?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we were in the pool.
We were in the pool.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've been trying to make the pool colder.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Dad
man.
came up with a
Oh,
good
man.
plan.
I
Jumping
created
ice in
I
there.
created
Yep.
the ice cube.
The pool
today.
cube. We're
Yeah.
patenting it.
The pool cube.
The pool cube.
It was pretty big.
5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was huge, and it lasted
I'm
5
ready.
minutes.
Everybody
I'll
just
take my
huddles
other one.
around the cube in the pool.
We did.
He filled a pitcher full of water,
Thank
stuck
you.
it in the freezer, and voila.
Yeah, what was that? Woody Allen had the orb that he was using. This
I
was
want the access.
kind of same
Thank
thing,
Yeah,
only ice.
correct.
I thought,
Ooh,
it did.
this
Whoa,
one's
there goes his head.
7-1.
I thought it would be
Stepping
nice.
it up.
It would last for a while. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and it was gone. Oh
Um,
well, it was a
just-
thought.
FYI, side note,
Side note.
for people who are watching live and it's spotty, or really,
Pardon me.
or you're hearing burping
I
instead
turned
of
Yeah.
away.
words.
I turned away.
That was a bird.
But they do end up
pterodactyl.
going through this and launching it on iTunes as their podcast for Drink Talk, correct?
Thank you, Erica. We iTunes, Google Play Music, and Spotify. If you want to sit back and actually listen to us, you will get the live feed, and it'll be full length. And
It won't be
I don't know
spotty.
why
There
he's
would be
cracking up
no
over here.
broadcast
And,
interrupted.
Brian.
Everything will be included.
Yes. You won't get to see everything, but you
Totally
will be able
lost
to
it.
hear everything.
I'm sorry. I
I
derailed.
didn't
Jeez,
see.
babe.
I
You know,
derailed.
You know, guys,
Go figure, my husband
some of the
interrupts.
people who are watching this are actually sober right now.
No,
and
they
they're wondering
shouldn't
what's
be.
going on.
Brian's crying too. Okay.
If anything,
I'm not crying. You're
this-
crying.
You are not supposed to be sober drinking.
At
Sober
Drink Talk.
on drink. Yeah, watching Drink Talk. Don't do that.
I said
Just
it was
don't
a
do that.
pterodactyl.
It won't make any sense if you're sober.
Brian provided perfect sound effects.
Thanks, bro.
Sorry, I was getting
I can
drinks,
always
so I
count
didn't
on
hear any of
you.
that.
Welcome.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Me too. And here is what I am drinking.
Yes, the
Oh.
Phantom Bride.
No crossbones, just a skull.
Yeah, no, the Phantom Bride, Brian. That is very. You know what? Pound for pound,
It's
not
another
pound for
Belching
pound,
Beaver.
punch for punch. Belching Beaver. That is, you get that in Tall Boys in a 6-pack for like $9.
Where's
It's
Belching
like
Beaver?
the best.
Where's Belgian
It's-
Beaver again?
You get 6 Tall Boys for $9.
Yeah, but where's that brewery at? Can we go
Yeah,
there?
I don't know where Belching Beaver is from.
Let's
though.
go to
So
Belgian
where do
Beaver.
where do you buy it
Well,
from?
I'm guessing Beaver Crossing. I don't know.
Let's
Where do
take
you
the
buy the
camper
beer from?
to Belching Beaver.
It's the best bang for your buck.
It's from Oceanside, California.
Let's not take the camper.
Change that.
Yeah, just scratch that.
But
We'll
where
fly
did,
over in an airplane.
Yeah.
Brian, did you get that at the beer, wine, and spirit place though?
I did indeed.
Okay. Sometimes I like to buy my husband beer.
But yeah, no, Erica, let's
She
go back
loves
to
me.
what you were just saying. You can find this on iTunes, Apple Play Music, or iTunes, Google Play Music, and Spotify.
Yes.
You can't watch it, but you can listen to it in your car. I do not recommend drinking and driving, though. Please do
No.
not do that
Unless you're getting takeout.
unless you're getting takeout and someone else is driving and you're sitting in the passenger seat. You can do that.
And you're respecting
I'll-
all the
I'll- I'll-
CDC
I'll
guidelines.
be okay with that.
Yes.
Yes. Stay 6 feet away from the car next to you.
Oh, in Texas, they don't follow that rule. In Texas, they
no,
do not follow the
they've
6
got-
foot
they've
rule.
got-
but
got
they
spots
wear
on the
their
floor.
masks.
Man, I felt like Mario Andretti driving down here with
Yes.
Dad in the front. So Dad had his navigation system going on, and I was like, Dad, I'll just follow you. I'm not even going to put on nav. No big deal. And he was zooming in and out of stuff. He'd get turn, and I'm like, well, there's 5 cars beside me. And, man, I was just Mario Andretti. It was crazy.
If you have an inch, you're giving them an inch,
Yeah,
and they
right.
will cut you off.
Oh, you got ran off the road almost by one guy
Oh,
that
yeah.
turned, and then I almost got ran off the road. This guy he was probably at the passenger side door, and he just started coming over. And I laid on my horn, slammed on my brakes, and he still got over. And I'm like, okay,
"Thank
cool,
you."
there you go.
Thank
Well,
you
once
very
you
much.
laid on your horn, he knew that you knew he was there and coming
Right.
over. So
You
it
saw
didn't
him.
matter.
Yep.
Oh man,
I am now drinking Woodchuck Hard Cider Amber.
if a woodchuck would.
Yeah, here we
In
go.
all honesty, I got this because a 3-pack of
That was
these.
sad, Britt. That was sad.
It was
We're
sort
not-
of sad.
No.
Do it again.
So
Okay, so
if a woodchuck would,
how much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
there you go.
Chuck all the way to the
bingo.
woodchuck. Good
Yes.
if woodchuck, good
That's
chuck.
exactly what I said in my mind.
So these I got because they came in a 4-pack of the 16
what I said.
16-ounce ones for $3.99 at the Beer, Wine, and Spirit place.
Ooh, there you go, $3.99. I'm always looking I'm looking for a high octane beer
Well, these are
at a
these
cheap
are 5%.
price. You know,
I'd go for at least 4 1/4.
Brian, what
These
Brian's
are
drinking,
5.
what Brian's drinking there,
5%.
the Phantom Bride, it's 6 tall boys for $9.99. It's a steal, and they're high octane. They're 6.5 or 7%. You tell me, Brian.
He has no
And he's
idea.
already forgotten.
He's looking. Well, he's looking. Our new
Oh,
one's
You have a
7-1, Brett.
microphone in front of your face.
7.1.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what.
7%,
Hey,
that's what-
ditto.
Nobody's
ditto.
asked me
Or is
what
it
my
7.1?
alcohol content
We're-
is.
You're
We're-
drinking vino, and
Wow.
hey, are you finishing
Jinx.
the BV? Have you finished that, or
I
you
did
probably
finish
finished?
that. I finished that this
He
afternoon.
finished that with
was very good.
breakfast. He finished that with
That was-
breakfast.
I had that with eggs and bacon.
Well, it was.
I had the first drink of the day. Dad had the second drink of the day.
So Brian, to fill you in, we had a BV at the middle part of or towards the end of our meal, kind of right when we received our entrees, and there was some leftover nice wine, and they wrapped it up super nice and like a present almost. And Dad left it out on the counter, and Kylan's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Not for you."
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said, "That's the leftover wine from last night." She's like, "Okay, fine, okay."
Well,
She knows better.
Yeah, but she goes, "What's that?"
The
It was
wine you
like a
made.
present.
the sangria.
If
The
this one,
sangria, because she gets this like apple juice container and puts the sangria in it and then writes on it for adults only.
I didn't. I did not do that. I think Mom did.
Oh,
I almost gave some to Guyver today.
yeah.
I was like, "Oh, cranberry juice," and she
not for
goes,
adults.
"Not cranberry juice."
Yeah.
I was like, "Thanks, Mom."
Yeah.
And that's probably when she wrote on it.
Apple
Right
juice
after
is
that.
not red.
Right. It does not have fruit floating in it.
If this one's good, I'm ordering it.
So yeah,
Just for the
Brian.
can.
By the way, we're back to the
Seriously?
Real Ale
You
Brewing
nerd.
Company. This is called the Axis, and it's got a big giant deer
It's
head
got a
on
picture. Yeah, it's got a picture of an axe's.
Big-
Well, it's supposed to be an
Antelope?
axis deer,
Cantal-
but
I don't
it's,
know.
it's a deer.
It's a
but
deer.
it's-
Cantaloupe, one of
it.
those.
7.1%.
Texas, you can hunt all kinds of wildlife inside fences. It's stupid.
So Brian, cheers.
A cheers.
Is that like
Cheers.
Allied in Access?
Cheers.
Access Brewing?
No, this is real ale again.
I'm okay with it.
I
I will drink that some more. I like that
I
a lot.
like it a lot.
I will say
There's a big
this is our
difference between the belching beavers that I had. 'Cause
Oh, Brian,
the-
there is a vast difference between the first one you had and the one that
Mhm.
you have now.
This makes you
that
respect that,
hazer is gonna
hopadillo
haze
a
is-
little bit.
like super crisp and clean.
well, the
This one's a
hazer's
little
gonna
funky,
haze
which I
is
like.
also like $7 more, or not, maybe not seven, maybe $5 more, but still, it's more than $9.99.
Right.
I'd say it's almost double. You probably bought that for about $21 for a 4-pack.
Yeah, but this Brit,
Yeah,
this
I'm
this
kinda
really
on point.
this kind of makes you respect that hopadillo a little bit
That
because that hopadillo was bitter.
bitter, and
It
it even
was
said on the
bitter.
can though, it said bitter. Right
I
on the
know,
side.
but I mean, like you taste this, it's like, ooh, this
Yeah,
is smooth.
a little smoother. Yeah, we do have one more down there if we get that far, but we'll see
going.
where we're going.
We're going.
We're going Space Mountain.
We watched Stand By Me
It was
last
a
night.
perfect time to burp.
Well,
We watched Stand By Me last night. That was a great movie.
Oh, he'd never seen
I'd
it.
never seen it, dude.
So we were
I'd
we
never
were in the
seen it.
pool, and I told him, I said, sick balls.
Oh,
and he goes,
wow.
what? Sick balls? What's that all about? I was like, well, first we were talking about Sandlot and the big
Yeah.
dog there. And
Yeah.
so it referred me to the dog from Stand By Me. and
Chopper.
He'd never seen that. Chopper, sick balls. And I was like, man, that Stand By Me is a cult classic. And some of the actors in there, I'm just like,
Everybody.
Yeah.
everybody.
Everybody.
Every-
John Cusack,
Most
Kiefer
of them were
Sutherland.
unknown at the time.
Right.
Now they're all.
Yeah.
Well, and the music in it too. You know, it just.
Oh yeah.
You sit there and watch, and you just, you never have the friends that you had when you were 12 years old. Never. God, who does? It's like
There's a few.
there's a few that come in your life, and you're just like, you feel like they've been around since you were 12 years old. There's a few, but there are like,
Okay, raise your hand if you have friends from the 6th grade. Okay, so do I.
I have probably 8 of them
Yeah,
that I can talk to right now.
not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
I did.
You you brought us up in Ponca Hills in
Yeah, Little House on the Prairie.
kind of, there was 300 people total in Ponca, and that's including staff. It was small. It was small.
Including staff.
There was no staff in Ponca Hills. There
Yeah.
was at the school, but not in Ponca Hills.
No, Ponca Hills Elementary.
Yes.
Let me reinstate that. Yeah. But yeah, you brought us up small town, and
You made it sound like a gated community.
No, it's not. There was one down the way though,
Yeah.
down around the corner up
But
on the
that
hill.
was to keep the hogs and the cattle on the other
I
side.
guess
Brian, I'm sunburned.
Brian's playing with.
aw.
Oh,
Brian's,
oh,
Well, I was gonna.
Brian would like to be a little bit sunburned right now.
I'm just glad you're here, Brian.
Dude, I haven't
Right?
seen. I
I
have not
know.
seen you like live or in person in months.
What was the old robot guy for like Pepsi commercials with the slick hair?
Max Headroom.
Max
Oh,
Headroom.
Max
Brian's
Headroom.
Max Headroom right now.
Yeah. They downloaded his conscious to the
with the
computer.
monitor and the stuff with the back.
Yeah,
Max,
so it is.
Brian's Max Headroom.
Yeah, that's right.
And that grenade on your shirt.
I'd say with a grenade.
It does.
It's definitely not a heart.
It's
Yeah.
not a heart. Not whatsoever.
Pull the pin.
Right.
Right.
Do we cut it right now and we just? I think we have a conversation afterwards and just chat.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, we're sitting at an hour and 40
About an hour
minutes.
and a
so,
half in.
yeah,
That's
hour and
good.
40. So, I think we're good.
We've rambled only a little. No, we've rambled through the whole
That's
thing.
this whole show. That's what we do. Is we
Yeah.
just ramble
If
on.
this
about
was a
stuff.
road,
That's the.
Yeah. We would have
mean-
seldom been on it.
It was titled Reconnect, but it's really a ramble.
Yeah.
We did have to reconnect quite a few times just to get the
Yep.
show started. So, and I've seen I should reconnect like 12 times over the
call it
quarter.
like
So
the
it's a
reconnect ramble.
reconnect ramble. No, we don't need to go back down that tunnel.
Why not
but
both?
we don't need to go back down that tunnel. But there are some things out there in this world that we have talked about tonight that need fixing. And unfortunately, we're not going to solve them tonight. But hopefully, in the near future, they do get solved. I
And-
hope
Not
that.
on vacation.
And my sister is
No,
on.
because-
I'm surprised she hasn't texted me 42 times. Oh, wait. I don't have my phone with me. That's probably it.
She's been on for like an hour.
Oh. Hi, Mitzi.
Perfect. Anyway,
I
Brian, you want to start off?
Yeah, I'm here from Omaha, Brian, drinking on I did the smoke. What did I start with? Like cold smoke. I did the Belching Beaver. I did the Cosmic Eye.
Oh, Brian, you're too
And,
good. I'm not gonna go that far.
was good stuff. It was good stuff.
Don't have the cans in front of
And
me.
I played Invisible here.
Yeah.
With the background, so it's been a lot of fun. But it's been interesting, actually, video conferencing into the podcast. So kind of a new foray into everything, which is kind of cool.
They can't remember what they drank.
Yeah, they can't remember. They
What
got to
is
get
he-
the cans back up.
I remembered.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
remembered.
There's the empties.
I remembered.
Read them off. Read them off.
All right, we did the squirt gun from Real Ale. the Fresh Kick from Real Ale, and then we did the Hopadillo from Carbach, and then we're on to the Axis from Real
IPA.
Ale. So
They're all IPAs.
They're all IPAs from
We're
Texas,
IPA lovers around here.
and doing some local brew.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm Britt.
Joel got single vineyard, 13.9.
I
but
went from
who
like
cares
a
about
Scotch ale
that?
to IPAs to black.
Yeah, it's okay. No, I went Glacier Till craft cider, the passion pineapple, to Not Your
I
Father's
do.
root beer, to Woodchuck hard cider amber, and back to my Not Your Father's root beer that I had to filter because Britt broke the top, and I was hoping not to swallow glass.
You're
Really?
welcome.
What did you filter that through? Hopefully
Cheesecloth.
one of his socks.
No, you wouldn't want to go there.
No.
Don't go there.
No. No. No, we're good. There was none in there. I used a little like tea filter.
I gotta give a
Ah.
shout out
Not
really
Mom's.
quick though
Oh.
to Britt for setting all this up. I mean,
Oh,
he
yeah.
spent all afternoon setting
Oh,
this
yeah.
studio.
Not
that you
all
see up.
afternoon, about 2 hours.
Okay, but I mean, like
I
Two and a half
figured it
hours.
was
you
longer
you
than
walked
that.
you walked away from all the fun to do this,
And,
and,
Yeah.
I did.
and other than the 8-block brownout, this all came together perfect.
It did.
and Brian, it's good to see you, bro.
It is good to see you, Brian.
It
And we'll
is.
keep chatting here in a minute.
Yep, exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here at Drink Talk. We will catch you on another episode, hopefully sometime soon. Hanging out like we always do. Have a great night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Toodles.
And